In 2018, Kroger decided to build its online grocery future around Ocado's smart platform-powered automated fulfillment centers in the United States, with a plan to identify up to 20 sites in the first 3 years. It also raised its Ocado stake to more than 6%, which tied the company even more tightly to the deal. At the time, Kroger's leaders linked the partnership to a stronger digital shopping experience and treated it as a serious answer to online grocery growth. The move fixed one problem, but it tied Kroger to an expensive system. By fiscal 2025, that choice had led to $2.05 billion in impairment and related charges tied to the automated fulfillment network. To understand why this looked like a smart call at the time, we need to start with the belief behind it. In May 2018, Kroger announced an exclusive United States partnership with Ocado and said the deal would speed up its effort to improve the digital experience for customers. Kroger's chief executive officer praised the partnership, and Ocado Chief Executive Officer Tim Steiner described it as a chance to change how Americans buy groceries. Ocado's model had proven successful in the UK's dense population centers, making the US expansion seem logical. This was not presented as a small test or a side project tucked away in the background. Kroger framed it as a major part of where the grocery business was heading. If this kind of breakdown helps, subscribe. June 2019 turned that idea into something physical. That belief came with real commitments attached to it. Kroger was not simply paying to use software because it increased its investment in Ocado to more than 6%, and that gave the relationship more weight from the start. During 2018, the two companies were already working to identify the first 3 sites for development, and they said they would identify up to 20 customer fulfillment centers, known as CFCs, in the first 3 years of the agreement, which showed how large the plan already was. Ocado also argued that its system could deliver choice, quality, and convenience efficiently and profitably. The basic assumption was easy to follow. Online grocery would keep growing, and the companies that built the strongest fulfillment system early could end up ahead of everyone else. That choice moved from presentation slides to construction in June 2019, when Kroger and Ocado broke ground on the first U.S. automated customer fulfillment center in Monroe, Ohio. Kroger planned to invest $55 million, build a 335,000 square foot facility, and create more than 400 jobs, while still keeping its wider goal of 20 customer fulfillment centers across the country. Instead of relying mainly on in-store picking and existing delivery relationships, Kroger committed to a national warehouse network built for online orders. A customer fulfillment center is a large automated warehouse that uses robotics to assemble and send out online orders quickly, contrasting with smaller micro-fulfillment centers that some competitors were testing. Monroe became the first real test. At that point, the logic was easy to see. Kroger said the Ocado-powered customer fulfillment center would bring customers fresher food faster and help the company deliver groceries anything, anytime, anywhere, while Ocado's leadership described the Ohio site as a major step toward changing how Kroger customers would experience e-commerce across the country. A grocer with national reach was trying to serve online customers through a system built for online orders, not through crowded stores, labor pressure, and workers pulling items from the same aisles used by regular shoppers. If the model worked, Kroger could move faster, reduce friction, and offer a more consistent digital experience in many markets. The path Kroger chose not to take also explains why this one made sense. It could have leaned harder on in-store fulfillment and third-party delivery partnerships, or explored micro-fulfillment centers like competitors' AutoStore and Fabric were developing, but that would have given it more flexibility while depending heavily on store labor and creating more tension between online orders and people shopping in person. Ocado offered a different model, one built around dedicated automated capacity, robotics, and software designed for grocery e-commerce at scale. Kroger's own public comments made clear this was supposed to be bigger than a labor-saving project. The goal was a different customer experience and stronger value for both customers and shareholders. September 2023 would show how hard that was to deliver. There was another reason the choice looked disciplined in the early years. The Ohio facility was never described as a one-off experiment, and by the 2019 announcement, Kroger had already selected additional regions in Central Florida and the Mid-Atlantic, which meant the company was trying to build a repeatable system rather than test one flashy piece of technology. The pattern itself was familiar: commit early, spread the model, and let scale improve the economics over time. For a company trying to modernize online grocery, an automated network could look more durable than relying on stores built for a different era of shopping. By 2023, the promise had run into a simple operating problem. Kroger paused further development of the Ocado network in September 2023 because it needed to see whether the customer fulfillment centers already operating could meet performance benchmarks. In March 2024, the company said 3 Ocado-powered spoke facilities would close because they were not meeting those benchmarks. A spoke facility is a smaller distribution hub that connects to the main customer fulfillment center. That changed the story. The network was no longer moving forward on confidence alone because now it had to hit measurable targets, and it was falling short. A benchmark is a target used to judge performance. March 2024 brought the first closures. The damage built slowly because the system did not fail in one dramatic moment. Kroger's original arrangement with Ocado envisioned 20 automated warehouses, yet by late 2025, only 8 had gone live, and 3 of those were already set for closure, which changed the economics in a direct way. Large networks can spread fixed costs across more volume, while smaller ones usually struggle to do that, and every delay made the original logic harder to defend. Instead of turning into a national advantage, the project was becoming an expensive partial rollout. What Kroger built for future growth was now being judged by present-day profit and operating results. This decision came as Kroger was also navigating the collapse of its $24.06 billion Albertsons merger and subsequent leadership changes. By late 2025, 3 of the 8 live Ocado sites were being shut down, and that shifted the numbers in plain English. Kroger said closing those 3 robotic facilities, along with other e-commerce adjustments, would provide about a $400 million boost as it worked to improve e-commerce profitability. But the same move was expected to bring about $2.06 billion in charges. That is where the cost of the earlier decision came fully into view. The exit could help profits later, but only by accepting a huge bill tied to the original plan. The network was no longer helping growth. It had become an expensive problem. Fiscal 2025 would lock that in. In March 2026, Kroger's fiscal 2025 results put the cost on the record. The company reported $2.05 billion in impairment and related charges tied to the automated fulfillment network. It also said its completed e-commerce strategic review was expected to deliver a $400 million improvement in e-commerce operating profit in 2026, while establishing a path to profitability. At that point, the shift was clear. Kroger had once presented Ocado as the answer to its digital future, and now it was telling investors that stepping back from that same network could improve the business. The project that once stood for modernization had become a drag on a more practical online model. Early 2026 became the point of no return. Kroger agreed to a $350 million one-time settlement tied to the canceled facilities, with the payment due in January 2026. That payment effectively ended the partnership. Around the same time, reporting showed Kroger had reworked its digital business and moved resources away from the multi-billion-dollar automated network, shifting instead towards store-based order assembly, micro-fulfillment centers, and greater use of delivery partners such as Instacart, DoorDash, and Uber Eats. This was not a small adjustment around the edges. After years of building that system, Kroger walked away from it. January 2026 closed the Ocado chapter. The lesson is not that Kroger made an irrational choice in 2018. A decision can make perfect sense at the start and still turn costly when it depends on long timelines, heavy fixed investment, and a model that has to scale well before the economics work. Kroger had real reasons to believe Ocado could reshape online grocery, including leadership support, a national rollout plan, a major first facility, and a simple promise to customers. But the picture changed once only 8 sites went live and 3 were closed. A $350 million settlement became necessary, and fiscal 2025 carried $2.05 billion in impairment and related charges. More decisions made sense until they did not. Subscribe. The decision was logical, the consequences were not.